Mm, I'm not always very comfortable to talk about myself, but I think maybe today I feel the right way to present myself and talk a little bit more about me, why I do human design, and which way it helps me, and why I keep why my interest doesn't fade away with the years to human design. So my name is Anna Kachkar and I'm actually Ukrainian. I lived in really many different countries over my life, and I have practiced certain practices like yoga, and I was reading a lot of books over my life to understand the meaning of life or the purpose of life. Or I always had a lot of questions they were not answered. And somebody mentioned human design to me, and I remember when I first went on the website was about 2011, I think, and that time Jovian Archive website still had Voice of Ra, like when you want to listen about your profile or when you want to read about your energy type, like there was an audio track with a Ra voice. And the moment I heard the description of what 6 line is, I'm a generator 6-2, like that very moment, maybe also like I was impacted by his voice. That very moment I felt that a lot of things make sense. There was a feeling that I'm okay, I'm fine, because I was just transitioning at that time. Like at the age of 30, I started feeling that I don't understand my life. I don't understand why certain things happen to me. And I couldn't understand looking back, like at the age before 30, why certain things were so important to me. Like this information came right in about the right time, so that I wouldn't bury myself in criticism completely. And just finding out about my profile and what 6 lines supposed to go through that very moment made me just relax into my body. I feel like, yeah, I'm actually okay, I'm actually fine. And then I listened to another audio track which helped me understand why I do not understand my life partner at that time, and why it felt so different, maybe his presence or his energy. And I understood in that very moment that exactly what I want in him to be different is exactly his another energy type. He has another energy type, so he's different from me. What I'm trying to get is somebody like me, and that person, everything I'm complaining about is exactly a description of that energy type, which is a manifestor, and I'm a generator. That brought like immediate forgiveness, because you just like, oh, so this is how this person operates, this is a different mechanics, and you just want him to be what he's not. So you can't, like if you can't accept it, that's understandable. But I have got these 2 huge, very important answers in like 5 or 6 minutes, just listening to profiles and energy types. And it naturally took over me, like the interest to this knowledge took over me. And it still got me a few years before I actually got a reading from John Martin. John Martin is a projector 6-2, and for those who are fond of human design might have heard his lectures. and he was one of the students of Ra, and I was absolutely so lucky, so blessed to actually come across information about his website, humandesignhawaii.com, at that time, 2014, and see his face. I just remember that looking at his face, I couldn't understand maybe all the information, but his face felt powerful to me. And that's exactly, we both represent channels of integration. So me wanting to be strong and feeling that somebody is strong, that's exactly how we recognize the strengths, the power. I felt that this is exactly from whom I would like to get my reading. I got my reading at the end of 2014 and was so lucky to join his last online course, Jedi training course. After that, he only did some personal training. He was not taking on groups anymore. And then for a year, I have been following the course. And at that time, I lived in China. And I had to wake up like 2 a.m. on every Monday morning in order to follow the lecture for like 1.5 hours. And it was such a special, absolutely unique experience. Like it was just like another life. Yeah, I'm living my regular life, and then once a week I wake up at night to become myself, because listening to the lectures in our small online group exactly gave me feeling that, oh, this is how I am, this is how it feels to be me. The group of Living Your Design gave me a lot of clarity and confirmations and support in my personal experiment. I remember that even after listening to lecture and then waking up the next morning, my body moved differently. Like it was kind of more free, less stuck, and I felt that the movement is a bit more natural, the movement of my body. I'm very connected to my body. I feel I have a very defined splenic center that is connected to my sacral, so I do feel a lot of things and receive a lot of information through my body. And so in 2015 I have completed course with John, and I have been continuing my experiment, and at some point within my experiment I started having people somehow asking me questions, and somehow somebody recommending me. I started doing small readings, and for me it was more being curious. Like I wanted sometimes to see how I perceive the person, how I feel the person, look at their chart and to see what exactly is right out of what I already feel from them in the first hour encounter. I absolutely loved the fact that most of the people, like I was doing readings, I didn't know them. There was a big expat community in China where I lived. I think people found it challenging in China and adapt to their new life, so they wanted maybe to understand more about themselves. So I got all these people who were looking into themselves, trying to understand exactly what they're going through, what they are, and like seeing so many different charts, having this one-to-one direct experience with these people, having a feeling how do I perceive them, and then looking at the chart, confirming a lot of things that I felt, was the greatest practice I could have in beginning my readings. I have also traveled 2018 to Hawaii, and I met John personally. I took some personal lectures and sessions with him and went on a bit deeper into certain things. But I do still feel very strongly that when you receive the reading, when you are explained your energy type, your strategy and authority, that is enough for you to start your experiment really.